Hello everybody, welcome to Discussing Tabletop, June 16th, 2018. Of course, this is our 79th episode. Woo!
Rocket! We told the kids to get off the lawn.
And while rolling, darling...
Roll to get off that lawn.
You critically for getting off the lawn.
Oh no.
Anyway, joining was my partner in crime. Today Worm can't join us. He's joined us for his own D&D game that's going up tomorrow. So if you guys were excited when you joined us for Madness of the Land, Worm, a good friend of ours and a co-starring up a D&D game, D&D Zone, and Tiv's gonna be so hurrah. all right. So we have a interesting docket. We're gonna start out with talking about some Vampire the Eternal Struggle. It's officially back. Like anthologies, which they put out as part of like the tournament as kind of an award, was half back. A actual Vampire the Eternal Struggle product is back. So we'll talk about that. Then we're gonna some D&D. We're gonna Waterdeep products been announced, which are gonna be coming out, and the Unearthed Arcana, which came out this week. We'll dive into some Pathfinder by talking about 2.0. I want to handle their skills because they're changing skills in a way, getting some things the same, getting some influence from 5th edition, and then stuff. Pathfinder also putting out Adventures because they should have had that out a couple of years ago.
And why not just wait until 2.0 comes out?
God, yes. Enchanted Realms is a free RPG I want to talk about. Star Wars Unlimited Power, the new book in the RPG, because the Star Wars RPG is very interesting, and I'd like to discuss that a little bit. Then we'll hit on some card games with Munchkin Spell School, which is a.k.a. Munchkin Harry Potter. Carthage, the board game, which is all about a gladiator pit fight, and Fungeon Party, because it's fun in a dungeon.
Oh, right. But if no one has another quarter, I have to get Fungeons.
That, you know how like that makes sense in like a weird, stupid way, because it really does.
Yeah, I tend to do that.
Yeah. Anyway,
what can I say? I'm Bethel.
Yes. Why don't we, of course, start with Vampire the Eternal Struggle. The big release is called Lost Kindred. So it is a new expansion? You call it expansion for it. That has been released by, let me get the company, the correct one here. It's technically it is White Wolf, but I forget who's the print company that's getting it. And the thing is, they are doing some reprints of some old products, but these are new cards. Let's see how many I have. 120 cards, 41 all new cards, consisting of 23 crypt cards, and 18 library cards. So it is some reprints, because they're still hashing it out. But it's still 41 new physical cards you can buy through Drive-Thru RPG.
Nice.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting thing that they're...
I'm hoping they start doing some reprints of classic stuff, too.
Yeah, I can agree on that. And maybe that we can see some resurgence in other RPGs. Now, granted, I'm pretty sure out of all the, classic semi-dead RPGs or dead RPGs that you could talk about, Vampire the Eternal Struggle is the one that has the largest following and has the highest chance of coming back, because they originally were printed under Wizards of the Coast, but then White Wolf took it over. There are other RPGs that, for various reasons, might not, or CCGs that might not return. Something like Star Trek, because the company basically can't have that anymore. Who would print it now? It would have to be someone else would have to do some other product.
Well, someone would have to they'd have to try to work out buying the rights back for it.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot harder.
Yes.
So, Lost Kindred. The clans are the Blood Brothers, Gargoyles, Harbinger Skulls, Salubri, Anti-Tribute, and Samedi. Which is like a really weird collection of, well, side groups. It really is.
Yeah. I'm just excited it's back. I hope they have some stuff at PAX Unplugged.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Oh God! Did you see what the counters look like?
No.
They're vampire fangs.
Of course they are. That seems about normal.
They look like they're in a clear, like, aspirin bottle, and it's just a tube full of fangs.
Mm-hmm. So they got two Keeper. The Black Chandra Productions is the one I guess putting it out, and they've got Keepers of Traditions 1 and 2 and the Lost Kindred bundle are the three things that they are currently selling for Vampire: The Eternal Struggle. I'm not sure if the Keepers of Traditions are an actual reprint or not, or how much. Okay, Keepers of Traditions are reprint bundles.
Oh, nice.
So they have two reprint bundles out now, and then the new one that's got new cards. So, granted, yes, you've got some stuff coming back that's reprints, plenty of it, but how long has it been, other than anthologies, since they had an actual decent physical printing? Like 6-7 years, or at least, or more? I have to remember if it was like 2012 or something, or even a little earlier, that the last actual Vampire: The Eternal Struggle product came out that was done with Whiteworks' blessing, that wasn't print and play stuff.
Right.
There's a bunch of print and play stuff that's come out that White Wolf has been like, yeah, it's fine.
Hey, you're still advertising our product with this, so it's cool.
True. Hey, you're cool. Oh, White Wolf. I can't help but think of you exactly like that all the time. Comically so. Yeah, other than the fact that I think it's a good sign that maybe other games could come back, I think that's the major thing. And if you're a big fan of, like, this game, which the fact is this game is complex, to say the least. Of all the...
Yes, we've tried it out a little bit.
Of all the CCGs I've looked at in my, like, old CCG series on YouTube, this is the one that took the longest because I tried to explain the rules, and this one's rules takes forever to go through. Star Trek's was bad, but Star Trek's was not nearly as bad as this one because of some of the layers of it. There's just certain little layers in the rules that you have to, like, get an idea of that make it deeper than you'd think.
Yes.
And this one is definitely much more multiplayer focused than a lot of other ones too, which is why it's very interesting. Best played with a group. So, I guess we can see how things go. If this does well enough, maybe we'll see more products. I'm happy to see that there might be more. I know we might not see more, which is one of those things about it too.
Hopefully people will pick up on it and it'll make a resurgence.
Yeah, I agree. We can hope.
I think that would be cool.
No, it would definitely be cool. Very great to see it. I would love to, just see what they got and enjoy some of their, more products. Granted, it's one of those games that when I played it, it was still done by Wizards, and I thought it died. I didn't know that White Wolf took it over. It's one of those things. It's like, oh, when I learned that, they kept going. Huh.
And going and going.
Yeah, really. So, it's a cool thing. It's out now. If you want to get it, if you want to check it out yourself, see if it's something you'd be interested in. even possibly support the product yourself, which would always be a good thing because then we can see more stuff like this in the future. Check it out for yourself. It's Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, and in particular, the blah 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 blah. I'm forgetting the name. Lost Kindred.
Yes.
I just had to do that for a second. It's like, wait a second, brain, no, think well. Anyway, why don't we move on though? Because there's plenty of topics to talk about today. If you've seen the docket, for those of you out there that have noticed the abomination, which is our docket right now, we have some D&D stuff. Why don't we, of course, start with why don't we start with the Unearthed Arcana? Actually, I'll just put the Waterdeep stuff right up here as our image, but because the Unearthed Arcana image, I've used it the same one every time because it's the one they always use.
Sorcerers have giant souls. Who knew?
They're very large souls. Or they've been eating their giant Wheaties.
Giant Wheaties. They're delicious.
So, anyway, you get Giant Soul, which is your sorcerer's origin, which you choose a giant, and it gives you spells depending on the type of giant you choose. You also get more hit points, which is really cool.
Yes.
Extra hit point per level. I mean, let's see here. You get other special ability depending on your... You get a lot of special abilities, well...
Depending on your giant that you choose. The spells aren't bad, though. I mean, even your first level spells are pretty darn good.
Yeah, and you can turn into a giant for like a minute, which is kind of cool.
I'm a giant sorcerer!
Yes. And at 18th level, you get more Constitution, and you can use your giant form twice per day, but no more than once per...
Well, also, you get Rage of Fallen Hysteria at 14th level.
Yeah, that's their giant form. They get, get bigger in all those abilities, yeah. But they get it back after a short rest.
That's gross.
Yeah. Oh, and you can use it twice while you're under its effects. It says the increase in size, hit points, reach, and walking speed are cumulative. So you can go do it. We can only do it once a turn at 18th level, but you could be like bigger and then huge. And be like, you could Ant-Man it.
Oh God. Oh God, Cloud Giant. Special ability, you could magically teleport as a bonus action.
Yeah. Oh God. Immediately after cast a spell from their mark list, which for Cloud Giant would be Fog Cloud, Minor Illusion, or Invisibility.
Yeah, at 3rd level you get
that's
invisibility.
Gross. You cast Invisibility, and then you're like, I teleport after casting Invisibility.
Yeah.
That's really great.
That is awesome.
So it's one of those things about invisibility. Sometimes when you cast it, things know where you were.
So they still have a chance to hit you. Now it's, hey, you don't know where I am, and you can't see me.
Yeah. It's a wonderful dick move. I love it.
Of course you do.
Yep. Fire Giant gives you bonus damage. You gain temporary hit points if you're Frost Giant.
Yeah, that's nice. I just saw that. I'm like, ooh, temporary hit points.
Stone Giant gives you a temporary bonus to AC until the end of your next turn, which is actually really good because the end of your next turn. Storm Giant, you do lightning damage to a couple of creatures, and Hill Giant,
you can hit 2 creatures within 5 feet with one of your marked spells.
That's pretty good. A large reduced heroism shillelagh. The shillelagh would just be like you smack someone. You can do like 2 people smacked at once. But like heroism, you're boosting 2 of your allies at once. Or in large reduced, you're boosting or hitting two things at once. That's actually not bad.
Hey, both of you guys, in large. Thank you.
Hey, you two. Get smaller.
Hey, you goblins. I want to step on you.
Now you're tiny, and I go to huge, Stomp.
Did I mention I bought some cleats?
Dancing on the goblins. Dancing on the goblins.
What are you making? Goblin pudding.
Just, you can dance if you want to. You could leave your goblins behind as you kind of stomp through them and they get stuck in the ground. It wasn't a great song. But no, it's a very interesting class. I'm not sure how balanced it is.
Well, hence why it's an Unearthed Arcana and still playtest material.
Yeah, that's true. So the Rage of Fallen Astoria is when you start casting a sorcerer spell on your turn and expend a single spell slot, you can increase the size guide. So effectively, it's you cast a spell, and part of casting the spell, you also get bigger. Yeah.
Wait, what happens if you casted a large spell on yourself? Would you go to huge then?
Yes. And then you go to Gargantuan, too.
God, that is gross.
Well, from the sounds of it, you're expending an extra sorcerer spell slot, but it just says a spell slot.
Right.
So it's like, I get rid of the first level spell slot to go from... After I've gone from medium to large with enlarge, to go from large to huge, and then I use it again at 18th level to go from huge to gargantuan. Then you really are like Ant-Man and doing like the giant stuff.
Yeah,
you're doing giant man stuff.
That's just horrific.
I mean, there are certain bonuses that don't stack with themselves, so you wouldn't get them. You're actually not, surprisingly, not adding much extra damage or anything else. It's really like bonus hit points, reach and walking speed are the big things you get from that one.
Yes.
So I don't know how well it'll stack up. You'll be really big, but you won't be like superly ridiculous.
Yeah, but if you do something like an Eldritch Knight or something.
Well, I mean,
yeah, or take some levels. Take some levels of fighter in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you build like a sorcerer fighter. You could be pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if you want to be able to get up to the 18th level abilities, you can only take up to 2 levels of fighter, but that's still going to enhance yourself rather well.
Very, very true. Make yourself extra ridiculous. Fee fi fo fum. I smell the blood of some people I'm going to stomp into goo.
Who doesn't love some good goo stomping time?
I mean, I'm fairly certain anyone who doesn't like getting squashed by large creatures, but...
Well, no. I mean for the player, not for the people getting stomped.
Oh, okay. I get you. Alright, so that's the Unearthed Arcana, which is pretty interesting. That's to say the least. I guess you can test it out for yourselves. Just see what you think yourselves. I'm curious as to how well it would play. This is like one of those odd ones that's like, this sounds kind of cool, but why this one?
Why not?
I mean, there is that, but who was clamoring for having the soul of a giant and squishing people?
I want to squish people.
I mean, you already have the soul of the giant.
I am a giant. What are you talking about?
See, that's what I'm telling you. You already have the soul of a giant. You should make sure you just don't give it back.
Yeah, actually, I'm just looking at what fighters get at a second level. That could be pretty horrible combination.
I'm sure there's always some great things to figure out.
Yes. Anyway.
Yeah. Why don't we move on? Let's talk about the crap that came out from Waterdeep. Or I should say, is going to come out. Because one's coming out in September, one's coming out in November. So, it's very interesting because they're doing 2 Waterdeep books. One's called Dragon Heist for levels 1 to 5, an adventure. And the other one's called Dungeon of the Mad Mage, and it's for 5 to 20. Okay. So, the Waterdeep, the Dragon Heist, it's a classic D&D adventure. It takes you from level 1 to 5. You're going on a quest to basically overcome some villains, hunt a dragon, go against the usual kind of things. A grand urban caper, they call it.
Yes.
Ooh. So it's fairly simple, fairly standard fare. Great. And I can understand there's a popularity with Waterdeep, but I mean there's a popularity with a number of places. Like Neverwinter is a great place that's got some popularity to it. I mean, I think there's a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head because I have a terrible memory anyway. But were you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
But then we also have Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Oh, God. Because there's the Yawning Portal, which they had Tales from the Yawning Portal, which there's the Enter to the Undermountain, which the Mad Wizard Black Cloak is basically living. And effectively they're like, it's the exploring the depths of it. And the thing is, it's 15 levels of experience as you explore the Black Cloak's home. 23 levels of Undermountain are dear to Terlong along with the subterranean refuge of Skullport. Yeah! It's a mega dungeon. They're producing a mega dungeon, which I'm kind of curious how they're handling it.
And it's supposed to be played along, with
Dragon Heist? Well,
Dragon Heist being first, of course.
Yeah, because you're taking off where you're 5 and you're coming into this. But I'm assuming you could probably play either without the other, but this would be it would be if you want to take characters from 1 to 20, here's some stuff. But I don't know. That's the thing is mega dungeons are always very interesting, but they're I feel like they're kind of a challenge. Pathfinder did pretty good with Emerald Spire, but even so, my experience with Emerald Spire and reading through it and stuff and seeing about doing it is that there are some very obvious flaws with it that if you play it right, you don't have to worry about it. Of course.
23 levels of the Undermountain.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. 23 levels of a dungeon. So each level is probably this kind of dungeon, that kind of dungeon. It's I know that this place has been partially detailed plenty of times in various parts here and there. So, of course, a lot of this might be repeat stuff from ancient material that's now updated to 5th edition.
The only problem I see with that is that's a 15-level drag through. You're not getting supplies other than stuff off of enemies.
Well, I mean, you can always go to the Subterranean Refuge of Skullport.
Okay, I guess so, yeah.
And I think there are other ways out of Undermountain. It's just that the main one is through the Yawning Portal.
Right. It's just, I'm like, I tend to dislike the games where it's like, you have no place to go to a town or anything.
There's no respite.
Forever. It's like, but I have 30 pounds of gold on my back that I would like to spend. No.
That would be awful. I would love to have that. 30 pounds of gold, you're like, haha, I can buy, oh wait, nothing, I'm stuck down here. I mean, I'm sure...
Hey, that's how it felt at times when doing, oh god, my brain just died. Vampire, D&D.
Oh, Curse of Strahd?
Curse of Strahd. Well, it's like, look, we found stuff that we could, gold and stuff that we could spend, but there's no one who has anything worth buying.
There's no shops in the entire of the 3 cities, so it's you're not buying any crap. It's who has things? There's
yeah, exactly, and it's just why have treasure then?
Ah, God, it's there's got to be a way out, and I can't remember enough about the Undermountain to know it.
Well, like you said, at least there's a Skullport thing. You probably can get trade and buy goods there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something. Even if it's only the same place you can go back to, it's still something.
Yes.
It's just I would hate to have 15 levels of yep, you ain't buying crap.
Man, oh man, I'm sure they're not that bad. I mean, like, it's not that stupid pyramid from 4th edition, the first like adventure going against Orcus. I think it was like the 3rd adventure. Where at the beginning of it, you get stuck in this dumb pyramid, and you're stuck there the entire adventure. Which, I mean, theoretically I would have been fine with that if it wasn't like constant death traps everywhere, annoyingly, and I think that's one of those problems when you get with some of these things. But that's here and there kind of things. I'm hoping.
I mean, it's a possibility because of you're doing 15 levels through a mega dungeon that it can be a bit wearing.
Yeah. I'm curious now. That's the thing is, I'm curious now, and just.
I would totally do it, because also, a lot of the games don't go up to 20.
Yes, that's true. And I would be wondering how Wizards balances out that high level, which is actually something very useful. Because, like, even, like, Curse of Strahd and all those kind of games, they don't go that high level as far as I've seen. So, I don't know what they have put together for balancing out at those very high levels. And that's something I'm curious about.
I'm still clamoring for epic level again. I love when we got those games that you got to that power level, and it was fun. I miss that.
Mm-hmm. Akin to gods.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's only a short part of the game that you get there, it's still cool to be like, power.
Unlimited power.
Finally, itty-bitty living space.
I was going to say we're going to talk about unlimited power a little later, though, anyway.
Mm-hmm. True.
So, and we're definitely curious about the Waterdeep adventures. The first one probably would be just great Dragon Heist. Seems like it's a kind of classic type of D&D adventure. Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'm very
curious. I want to do it. It's just I'm hoping it's not a whole drop down, drag out thing.
There are some things in this book that I want to see because it's like, how are you handling a mega dungeon? How are you handling all the other crap that's going to come about part of this? And how are you handling the high level play? I'm
wondering how long the high level play lasts too.
The thing is, it's got to last at least a little while because they've got to go through all of 19th level and then maybe like 20th level. Probably it's not going to be that long.
Yeah.
You know, I'm assuming it'll have a little bit of time because.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it's going to. You hit 20th level and win the game.
Yeah, it'll probably be like the last like little bit, maybe a session, maybe 2 at 20th level.
I'd want a few more sessions in that, but yes.
Usually they do it like that, like for 3-hour sessions, you can get like 1 or 2 out of it. But I guess
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love those high levels. And we haven't had a game in a very, very, very long time that we've done high levels.
True. No, at least we haven't.
Yeah. I bet that's what I meant is we haven't.
Yes. All right. Why don't we move on though? Because I do want to talk about some Pathfinder things. Why don't we start with, of course, the Pathfinder 2nd edition? Because they've been releasing a lot of stuff. Now, granted, they've been showing 2.0 for a bunch of classes. But the two things that I want to kind of hit about for Pathfinder right away are the changes to skills and
Do you have a link for the skill thing too? Because
yes,
I couldn't find anything yet.
It's very hard to find this. I'll put the link in chat for those of you who want to see that it's part of their blog. You have to go to Paizo's and then go to their blog under their community.
Ah.
And then
because I've been trying to find stuff on it and I'm like, I can't find it.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. So of course, they've cut it down to 17 base skills from 35. Now, like, they still have something like lore skill, which can be, which I guess is their version of knowledge now, which can be broken apart into other skills. You know, so that's still the basis. So they still have things like in the original they had craft, perform, profession, and the knowledges, which all could kind of be broken down.
I saw they were getting rid of perception. And another thing then here, they were saying they're getting rid of perception, which I'm like, no.
I think they're doing something different in place of it, but I don't know what it is. Because they've done lots of weird combinations of stuff.
Administer first aid.
Now you're trained in skills, which you choose, like a fighter gets 3+ intelligence modified skills that they get to choose from. And when you're trained in it, it's just that you get a bonus. You get, like, what is this? A bonus equal to your level +1 in that skill. So it's like oh, I'm just trained in, so you don't have like skill points anymore. Which I think that's a great thing. So it's like, I'm trained in deception. What's my level? +1 to it? That's what I get bonus. But you also have... Oh, no, you get normally your level. But you have expert, master, and legendary, which you can get better at skills to get +1, 2, or 3. And if you do an untrained, you have -2.
Okay.
A modifier to your level of -2. So basically, like, if I want to roll an untrained skill, I would... maybe add, like, let's say I'm doing untrained intimidation. I'm like 4th level. I'd still get a +2, which is really great. So it means I could still do it.
It is great, but I am going to... I know they're taking a page out of D&D 5th edition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got rid of skill points. But I like skill points.
Mm-hmm.
I like the ability to be like, I want to be really good at this.
In a way, you can be.
You can be better at it.
Yeah, and you can get those levels of, like, expert, master, and legendary, which I think are the differences. But then apparently, like, you have certain skill uses depending on apparently your level in it, and also your training. And there's also, like, these skill feats they're talking about, which is kind of weird, because I'm not sure if it's an actual feat.
Well, the default users are just at the beginning. As you increase your level, you periodically gain skill feats, usually at even numbered levels. Mm-hmm. Skill feats are a subsection of general feats, which means that any character can take them. Mm-hmm. Moving forward to the example medical skill, as long as you are at least trained in medicine, you can take battle medic skill feat. Mm-hmm. Feat allows you to apply straight up healing to any ally through non-magical means. Okay, so basically, I think you can basically at certain levels you not only gain a regular feat, but gain possibly a skill feat.
Okay.
That you can use in a skill, it seems.
Yeah, they're taking a very interesting route for skills.
You know, that means, you know, gone are the days of having like a +20 to a skill.
Well, technically you might still have a +20 to a skill, but it's not going to be like so... I guess you're not going to have like a lot of those miscellaneous bonuses and stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be more like when I'm, let's say, 15th level, or even a little less than that, and maybe I get, like, mastery in a skill and have a pretty decent ability score, I might still get that +20.
Right, but you're not going to have that at a lower level.
Which, I mean, still...
Which is fine.
It was hard to get up there, yeah.
No, but there were ways, you know, but it definitely is interesting. I like what they're doing with at least the healing skill, you know, as they give an example.
Yeah.
You know, makes actually having healing and stuff, at least you don't have to have a magical person if you have someone who's a medic.
Yeah. I mean, and like, they've got like scaling feats that they talk about. Like there's a catfall, which if you're trained in acrobatics for a skill feat, you can like reduce your fall distance, and depending on like if you're an expert, you can treat it better, master better, and if you're legendary, it's like you always land on your feet and don't take damage regardless of distance fallen. If you're legendary acrobatics.
Right.
That's kind of ridiculous. But I'm guessing like that it scales with whatever kind of level you get in there, which is kind of neat. Some of them you need legendary status to take them. But still, I'm more curious as to how these are going to do. Yeah, every character gets at least 10 skill feats. The rogues get 20 because they get one every level.
Nice.
Yeah. It's I guess it's one of those special things about rogues. It's like you get just a billion of them.
Well, and the thing is, rogues always had more skill points.
Yeah, and I guess this is a way to reflect upon their nature of rogues a little bit more, which is kind of interesting.
I'm surprised they don't do that with Bard, though, too.
Bard might get something else, and I don't know if we've had a really good preview of Bard as of
right.
yet.
I'm curious what they're going to do with that, because Bards tend to be the major skill whores.
True.
With, like, Jack of all trade. Well, if they still have, like, a Jack of all trade ability, they might get bonuses to all of their, all of their skills instead. So, like they may be considered trained in all skills.
Yeah, they might not get the untrained penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, instead of a -2, you get a +1 to all your skills.
Well, no, you just be like, you add your level to every skill.
Or you just add all your level, instead of +1. And then once you are trained in, you get the +1, yeah.
Or they might not do it because I guess normally when you're just trained, you get even. It might be like you only get -1 or something, which isn't a huge difference. But I'm guessing like DC differences will be a lot more exacting, like they will be a lot more balanced out for your level kind of thing. So I feel like by level, let's say like 20, DCs should be around like 31 or something, that may be like 11 plus level would be a good average for difficulty for a lot of these skills. So that way, like when you get mastery, you have a better bonus of it. Maybe ability scores give better bonuses, things like that.
Right.
So I'm curious as to what it will actually end up with that and how they're going to balance it out. It's an ambitious kind of thing, and it looks interesting, but there are possible points of problems that I can see with it. And so it does worry me a little.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they do that.
Yeah, if they can balance it.
Yeah.
I'm curious, definitely. So hopefully we'll see something good out of it. And we'll keep you apprised as they have more really interesting releases on Pathfinder 2.0, and when we can probably try the playtest in the future. As things go, we will keep you guys out there informed.
I'm hoping they'll have something at PAX Unplugged.
I'm sure by then, because that's around when the playtest comes out, or just a little after it, I'm sure we'll, rather than playtesting like Starfinder, they might have Pathfinder 2.0.
Right. That's what I'm hoping about.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's probably ... what they're going to do ...
Yes.
With all the extra ... because, it's hard. With Paizo, there's a lot of things that's hard to tell. I'm just going to say that. Paizo, they make good and then interesting decisions. That's a great segue for what we're going to talk about now.
Yeah.
Pathfinder Planar Adventures. Because they needed them now?
I don't know why when you're about to start the play test for the second edition that you would come out with a Planar Adventure book now.
It's
you didn't have a dedicated one before. Why not just make it for the new system?
Yeah, I mean it's having you go to the various different planes, giving you information about its new archetypes, feats, magic items, and spells to help plane hopping and traveling. They present 20 core deities of Pathfinder, including divine gifts they can give faithful. That's cool. Exploration of major planes of existence and several strange demi-planes.
And nearly 24 new monsters, including three new races appropriate for players.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff they're just throwing out there. A lot of stuff.
Especially right before a changeover.
Well, I think the changeover might still be a year ... out, probably.
Right. But you know what I'm saying is, why introduce all this stuff from that you're going to be using for another year or so, and then maybe moving to the new?
Well, they have conversion rules at least, and they're talking about having them, which will be good. I think that's going to be the core of it. That like having a good set of conversion rules will be one of the major reasons it could maybe actually work. Maybe.
Yeah, because that's something we haven't really seen a great deal about in like D&D.
Oh God, no.
When they go to a new edition, it's normally, well, get rid of your old character, recreate it the best you can.
The only system that I think I've seen decent conversion rules in that you really need it for is Shadowrun. Like the people.
Well, that's because Shadowrun comes out with so many.
Well, they've only come out with 5 editions, actually.
Really?
Really?
Oh.
They're only on the 5th edition.
Hmm.
I know it's very unusual. It feels like they do a lot, but that's only because also they advance their storyline every edition.
Right.
It's like they add like 5 or 10 years. I think they're trying to keep it like X amount of years ahead of us, so as we go by in time, they go into the future in time.
That it's not like, hey, it's 2020 and we have all this cool stuff. It's like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Again, it's also supposed to be an alternate future that a lot of weird crap has happened and probably even has destroyed the bound. I would call it that it wrecked the inhibitors in society from a lot of certain technological advances that we probably still have in place that prevent us from going in some of the crazy routes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, not that we're not doing some cool things that are getting closer to it. We have things that are very close to cybernetic limbs. So.
Yeah.
But.
And exoskeletons.
Yeah. So, Planar Adventures, it's a standard. In a way, it's a standard, having planar-based adventures. I'm thinking to myself, wouldn't this be like a normal that you would have in a lot of different, granted, I guess your true standard is a dungeon crawl, period. But this is a type of adventure that I've played in a couple of times that at least have involved the plane, if not been directly planar, revolving around traveling the planes.
Yeah. Well, some of my favorite games I've been in have involved planar adventures.
Yeah. So it's just, it feels late. It feels late. And granted, it's a hardcover book, so it's a big core book that they're putting out too.
Yeah.
This might be the last core book that Pathfinder 1.0 puts out.
True.
We just don't know at this point in time. There's a lot of questions.
I guess it also depends on how quick they do develop 2.0.
Yeah, because
how long the playtest ends up being before they settle on, okay, here's the new core books.
They also might have more than one playtest too. You never know.
Yeah. Well, it depends on how the playtesting goes. Like, they find, if they find a lot of flaws that they need to fix, it can go longer.
That's true. We're only seeing snippets about what, everything that's involved in the current playtest model as it will be out later on this year, that we don't have the whole picture. As I was kind of saying with the skills, I don't have the whole picture. I don't know how the actual skill checks are going to relate to anything when it comes to characters, and I worry about it because it seems like it could be very difficult to balance and have some problems, but maybe they have it work to balance it out well.
Yeah, we have to wait to see when the playtest comes out.
So, getting back to Planar Adventures, I always love a good new archetype, new feats, magic items, spells. Those are all really cool.
New races.
The new races are always wonderful. I love talking about the unusual races in Pathfinder, and I guess the divine gifts are kind of cool. That's something that's a little different that I'm pretty sure I've heard it talked about before, but adding more to that kind of like concept that, you know, you can get something from a god for serving it or doing well with it. That's kind of cool, and it doesn't have to be money.
Right.
I mean, that's one of those things. Is like there are a time and a place for monetary awards, and there's a time and a place that you want something else, and a good reward for an adventure it can sometimes hard be find. You know? So,
yeah.
It's a new option. Cool. So, as we were saying, Pathfinder 2.0, you can check out on their the community part of Paizo's webpage under their blog. It'll be under Pathfinder Playtest, I believe, in their sub forums.
Yeah.
Though they talk about it.
Well, you also have the link in the chat for this one particularly.
Yeah, that leads a little easier because community normally just leads to the forums, and you kind of want to go to the community blog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, they make it not easy to find. So that's a thing. I think if you... Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, if you go to Paizo's homepage and click on the community and then click on blog, you can find it pretty easily. So it can happen. So there we go. Jeez, oh my god! And they just came out with an interesting thing, a post on it a second ago.
Oh.
Conditions. We'll have to talk about those in the future, though.
Yes.
Conditions. Ooh, playtest. Anyway.
Conditions.
Oh, I don't know where I'm going with this one. I'm going somewhere weird. All right.
I was going.
Tradition.
Yes.
That's kind of where I was going too, but I was not doing it quite as well as you. And I knew I wasn't doing it quite as well as you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what is the next topic we're hitting?
Yes, the next topic is Enchanted Realms. That's what I want to talk about, is a free RPG. Because, you know, free RPGs are wonderful. But no, okay. Let me bring up the image of Enchanted Realms while I'm trying to be distracted by doing that.
No Enchanted Realm image for you.
Okay, so it's got 6 player races. They got 6 religions, 8 rituals, 121 skills, and 102 divine tributes. It's an independent fantasy gaming system, 90 pages, and this is free. Now they do go for like the donation model that they would like for you to donate if you can, because that will help support them, you know, etc., etc. They'll be, you know, they'll be your bestie best friends. I think that one's incorrect.
Bestie best friends.
I think that one's technically incorrect, but we'll go along with it. They'll be your eternal best friends, you know, because you're supporting them.
102 divine abilities and 212 skills.
Yeah, I mean
that's a lot of skill.
Yeah, they got a crap load of them. It was created to either play as a tabletop version or over the internet when using a third-party virtual table application like Roll20. Rules are keeping in mind many problems of role-playing games limited and encourage collaborative storytelling rather than a session of hack and slash. They're not trying to concern themselves with restrictions by class, math, and complex contact. They took some steps to mitigate the matter. I'm not sure what the steps is because I haven't had a chance to really dive into it. Yeah, they have a $5 PayPal donation if you want it to help support them. But you can definitely just get Enchanted Realms from their download page, which they have a game manual, a bestiary, enchanted items up right then. Which is actually a good deal of stuff that they have out to check out. I mean, really, they have a bestiary and item book too, all for free. And the core book is 92 pages. I mean, that's just That's a little crazy for something that's just they're offering for free.
Right. Enchanted items too.
I know, that's kind of cool. It's very interesting because they've, like, I guess that's what it is. 22 items for the or 22 pages of items for the enchanted items, and the bestiary has 35 pages of, well, beasts. Though I'm pretty sure the picture that they're showing there for the enchanted beast is like, is that the Sarlacc?
I'm not on there, so
Here, let me go to their home downloads.
I'm on
link.
their downloads right now. I just didn't go in their bestiary.
Yeah, it's I think it's the Sarlacc. Sarlacc.
Oh yeah.
All images are believed to be public domain, so this might be like someone drew this long ago version of it that went to public domain or something, or had. I don't know why that's kind of weird. So
and there's dwarves, elves, griffs, humans, orcs, and Saurians.
All right, and that's weird.
Character sheet's pretty basic.
Yeah, they got Dracos, cursed dragons. They use a hex system.
And it's a 2D initiative is 2D10.
So it might be a 2D10 system. Is the question if it is all 2D10 or if it's just?
It looks like a D10 system.
Oh, so it's D10 system. Okay, D10 system.
Yeah, because like perception, the way to determine whether something is a D10 roll. Everything I'm seeing so far has been like a D10.
Okay, Griffs and Saurians. Wow, those are some. At least they have some variety in the races. I'll give them that much. I'll give them that much.
Ooh, you can get a skull cap.
Ooh.
Or iron greaves.
Oh, I'm not gonna be that. What's the word for it? Excited. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. It's very interesting. They have a lot of really interesting things in the system for something that's being offered for free. I mean, I can't actually offer a lot of complaints because the price is right. I mean, really.
You want to take the skill griff diving?
No.
It allows a griff to use gliding fall as part of an attack.
Neat. Good for them.
Holy crap, the amount of just skills.
That's it. What was it? 212? Yes! Holy crap, the spells!
Hey, lip reading. You can take lip reading or fire building.
Oh, God. Really? It's like, I want to be able to build fire. Yeah.
Okay. There's marathon.
Wait, no. Herbology. Yeah. Herbology.
How about marathon?
The place in Greece?
I don't know. It's a skill. Okay. Marathon. Or pseudo reading.
I know. What?
Or pseudo scroll. Hib.
Yeah, I mean, that's pseudo reading?
Era of Stone.
They have way too many skills. They can, if they're really, 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 really oddly specific, I can understand having so many. But then they're really, really, really oddly specific.
Great voice.
Ugh.
Skill Bone Claw.
Okay. You use bone claws, you tear into people's flesh.
But how is that a skill?
You have bone claws, you tear into someone's flesh.
That's not a skill.
Yeah. Maybe maybe they have combat skills in there.
Yeah.
So if you like blade skill, bone claws, clubs.
Underground navigation.
I mean, that seems helpful, but it also seems not helpful. Oh, God. At least it's free.
Yes. Oh, you can take phrenology.
What?
You know, this when you just study the bumps on someone's head.
Why? Why?
Oh,
right.
it reveals the hereditary past of 2 generations.
No, we're done. We're done with it. It's free. It's an interesting dice system. It has some interesting options, and it seems like, from what we've read up, it's interesting to play. Just be prepared to make oddly specific characters. Your character matches phrenology because reasons. Because someone punched someone that takes that skill in the face. I don't care who you are, find whoever is doing this and just be like, no, you encouraged this part of this adventure. This part of this gaming system.
We have a team of phrenologists here.
The underground navigation, I'll give that to you. Maybe you have, like, massive cave systems or something like an Underdark. Cool. It's useful then.
Immunity to nature.
What?
Immunity to nature.
What does that even mean?
This enchantment upon spiritual nature allows a processor of the ability to become relatively immune to the natural exposure, such as frostbite and heat stroke.
Alright.
The character can operate naked in 0-degree temperatures and in heavy armor up to 140 degrees as it was perfectly normal.
Okay.
I'm running around in the Arctic nude.
Whee! Let's move on.
Oh, but there's so many fun ones, like Inner Fire.
We're moving on. Force and Destiny, Unlimited Power. Cool, excellent. We're talking about Star Wars because you need unlimited power.
With unlimited power becomes unlimited responsibility?
Comes lightning bolts. That's what comes with it. Lightning bolts. Because lightning bolts. And they're helpful. Alright, so Unlimited Power. It's a new source book. Focused on the mystic career in Force and Destiny. Which I guess is... because Star Wars has, you know, mysticism, magic, science, technology kind of thing, because the Force is sort of like magic, yet not magic, yet something else, and I don't know.
Midichlorians.
We're not even going that direction. Because up yours, George Lucas. Anyway, this is all about stuff to do with the Force. Awesome. It has, like, 3 new specializations, more Forcey stuff, for new Force powers, gear, vehicles, adventure possibilities. Great. Also details doing dark side crap. If you fall into the temptation of... I mean, really. The new career specializations are Alchemist, Magus, and Prophet. Because sure. So, I mean, and they also add some new species, too. Like, 3 new species. Because Star Wars has, like, 97 billion species to choose from. I mean, it really do.
Well, when you're talking about a galaxy of aliens...
God, yeah, there really is. They talk about a galaxy of aliens and have, like, lots and lots and lots of extra ones.
I mean, I'm thinking... I know I'm going to say this wrong, but there's the... What are they? The calamari?
Mon Calamari.
Mon Calamari, yes. Which also has another race on that planet.
Yes. No. I mean, like, you have your more common races in Star Wars that you see a lot of, and then you have
a lot of uncommon ones.
A lot of uncommon ones. I mean, yeah.
I want a Lucky Blaster.
I think that all just... As I recall, because I have been watching some Star Wars, some people that are doing it on the Lost Initiative channel, that I think just gives you, like, extra damage or, like, a upgrade on dice or something. Because at least they have their own dice system. Their dice system is really weird, but I kind of understand it, you know? it's made between successes, advantages, disadvantages, and failures, and you have to try to see a balance between all of them to see what you get.
Ooh. How about a Sembian Obsidian Dagger? It can give someone force powers.
Ooh, force powers.
It's filled with metachlorians.
Oh, metachlorians. Up yours, George Lucas, again. George Lucas, you have done horrible things to your own canon and your own...
Hey, at least
devices.
he sold it off. It's the best thing he ever did for Star Wars.
That's true. And then, like, he was like, so, will you be using this idea you had? And Disney was just like, we're just gonna...
No.
No, it's like, no, Disney was like, oh, here, let me take a look at that. Let me just, like turn on the shredder. Just take a look at this. Oh, what's that noise? I don't know what that noise is. We're gonna look at it later. Why don't you go off and play with your money? We'll look at that later.
I think we need another new Jar Jar Binks in this one.
Yeah, probably. We'll figure something out. I know he's your favorite, George.
I think we need a movie completely around him.
Oops. Clinking together some glasses while I'm trying to, like, half clean up here and joke about terrible Jar Jar Binks and other horrible things.
Yes.
Yeah, best thing they did. Not that I can say Disney has done the best with it. They've done okay, and they have...
Hey, Solo was awesome.
Solo was good. I liked Solo. I did. I mean, I can get how people, in quotations, get, like, exhaustion of things, and Star Wars
because they're coming out with a lot now. They're milking that cow for all it's worth.
Well, like, even once a year, I don't care enough to be like annoyed or tired from once a year. So, I don't know. I don't know.
But I'm just saying they are considering how long there was a departure of it.
Yes.
And now it's at least once a year. Hey, new movie. Hey, new movie.
Yeah. No, I mean, if they expand rather than on their old characters on other areas of the Star Wars universe, I think that would actually work well, and I wouldn't mind it because it is an interesting kind of galaxy setting.
Yes.
Other storylines in other places. Please do that.
And Solo proved you don't have to have Force users to make a good movie in that universe.
Very true. Very, very, very true. This is highly accurate, and I'm very glad that they did that. So, anyway. So, Unlimited Power got a lot of it's Force stuff. It's Force stuff, and it fills all your needs to basically play the Emperor and go unlimited power.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Itty bitty limited space.
That too. Let's move on though from role playing games because we still have a couple more topics I want to handle before we finish up today. Let's talk about. I didn't put up Unlimited Power as the image. I left up the other image. Whatever. I don't care anymore. I forgot.
Bad Tantus. Bad.
I know. We'll do Spell School. I'll put up Spell School. So, Munchkin put out Harry Potter. Because reasons.
Because, it's not a little past date to jump on that bandwagon.
It is. Spell School came out June 11th. It's effectively...
This should have come out, 5 years ago at least?
Probably. Yes. I don't know. I understand that, it takes some time to produce some of these things. You have to, prep the material.
But during the whole time that the movies were being made, probably would have been enough time to create it.
Yes. I mean, I feel like there have been other, good times. Are they actually doing more of those, Fantastic Beasts series? I think they are. So,
yeah.
Okay. So that's a resurgence a little bit. Great. And they always talk about more stuff and isn't there a stage play and stuff, but the real kicker would have been when the original book series came out. No, I agree. because like it's as soon as you read through the information on Spell School, they're like, and the dreaded Voldemort. I'm like, yes, it's another, because they haven't done enough joke versions of Voldemort throughout the years. Yeah. I'm fairly certain I could name like 17, well, maybe not 17, at least a dozen joke versions of Voldemort, and this is including this one now. That we've just, and they might have done this one also. The name Voldemort. I'm pretty sure sounds familiar. Do
you want some glider spiders?
No. I don't think anybody wants glider spiders.
How about a fire drill?
Only if you're the manual of transmission.
Forbidden Magic Club?
Ooh.
Or the wardrobe.
Wardrobe. Yeah. It's like a wardrobe, only it's, it's...
You wear it.
You wear it. Oh, God. I mean, their creativity is always silly. Great, they do a lot of interesting things. But, I mean, it's still a little late. Just saying. Oh, God.
Oh, it's Steve Jackson games.
Yeah, and this is what we want from them, too. We want this because it's a parody of something that's not the exact thing, and that's great. Granted, sometimes they do their own parody versions of more exacting things, which can work out. But, like, it's like when they're talking about, their superheroes and their horror and their, Cthulhu series, like magical students. Though Harry Potter takes the cake for it, it isn't the only source of magical students out there. So, making a joke version of magical students, though, again, you're going to think Harry Potter first, is fine. But we wanted this, like, instead of Shakespeare.
Yes. Well, Shakespeare I like, though.
It wasn't a bad one. But it's still really unusual in drawing at straws. And they got worse, too.
Yes.
Steve Jackson Games, please stop it. Stop hurting our souls and just do well.
I'm going to have to let you riff for a little bit. I got to run real quick for a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't know where to go with Steve Jackson Games. They've always try their best, and I know it's a company, they're trying to make money, they're trying to grow a card game based empire as best as they gosh darn can, and they are. But there's always a lot of things they do that seems like bad ideas, bad timing, all that kind of stuff. CCG. This is not the time. This is not the environment for a CCG to take hold of. One that doesn't have a backing and is known. Yes, we're seeing a resurgence in things like Magic's very popular, and Vampire Turtle Struggle is coming back, but that has a basis from someone and somewhere and something. This. I'm making a lot of weird noises now because I'm just, it's getting me tired. It's getting me tired. I want Steve Jackson Games to do better. I am a big fan, but they also just worry me so much with things like this. Worry me a lot. So I can only hope that this looks like it's classic Steve Jackson. It looks like it'd be great. So if you love Munchkins and love Steve Jackson, cool, awesome. They have a great product for you. But if you're the Harry Potter fan that was waiting for this, you waited a little long. And if you're one person that just, is looking for a way in, I mean, anyway, why don't we while I start introing the next one and moving on, while we wait for Joe to come back. Man. Everything I ever say about Steve Jackson games is out of love. I love the original Munchkin. I love their products. It is out of this love that we are offering criticism to them for the problems they have caused and brought about, because we want them to get better and do better and still do great. So yes, out of love, I complain the crap out of Steve Jackson games. An extreme amount. Anyway, we're moving on. Let's talk about Carthage. Did I spell that correctly in the description? Yes. So Carthage board game is available now. So it's a gladiatorial fighting board game. It's got fighting elements, which include positioning is very important. It's got deck building aspects. It's got a bit of everything, and they've got it released now, and the copies are up now that you can get them. Let me get the appropriate image up and running here so that you guys can see what Carthage looks like, at least its box. Because, you know, we all want to see what Carthage looks like. And I can be good at putting this together very quickly and efficiently. Oh my god, that was perfect. Awesome. Bam! Carthage. 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, 30 to 16 minutes. It's right there, you know. So, it's all about the spectacle of battle in theater. So, you know, it's gladiatorial pits, but it's in Carthage rather than Rome. So, that's a little... I guess Carthage had gladiatorial pit fighting also, question mark? I'm not as familiar with the Carthaginians.
I am not sure, but I mean they're in the same area, so I'm sure.
No, well, yes and no. Carthage was northern Africa.
Oh wait, you're right.
Yeah, but Carthage got destroyed by Rome.
Yeah, so I mean, at some point they might have had.
Yeah, it could be definitely. So it's hex-based theater of combats where you're creating crowd favor and developing tactics, which is your player decks into at least a combination of armor and damage and all that crap. Okay, great. So it's a deck building board game, and the deck you're building is the moves and what you're going to be doing as the gladiator. So, you know, it has that fighting element that you're going to be using positioning too. And so its management is deck building, hand management, and combat. So that it seems like a very interesting board game, I'd definitely say, because it looks like they're trying to blend a lot of elements, and if they do it very well, it looks like it could be very cool. You know,
it does look interesting.
Yeah, and I'm curious as to the 1-player mode, because it does say 1 to 5 players. I mean, the art style looks pretty interesting too. It has like a little bit of classic Roman feel. With, you know, like, they make it look like, you know, those, like, blood splatters because you're, you know, black and white, and I guess, what was that? Would that be, like, 300 or Sin City kind of, like, look to it?
I think 300, yeah.
Yeah. Which, it kind of works because it is, like, again, this is, like, again, Carthaginians, but it is in that ancient time period, so it fits very well and makes it look very interesting.
You know, I have to say one thing.
What?
This is Carthage.
And then kick someone into the crowd, into the pits, into the gladiatorial pits for you. Okay, so they got like, granted, like they've got 5 detailed plastic miniatures with colored bases, wooden cubes, a lot of cards, the board. They got a lot of stuff to this. How much is it going for?
And hex-based tiles.
And it's $50. It doesn't seem too bad for $50.
No.
So this is a very interesting one. I definitely like the looks of it and think it would be very cool to try it out, because I would be interesting to see how they balance the deck building with, like, the fact that you're fighting. Like, your different moves and your positioning and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm guessing attacking, it's different cards tell you if you attack from certain directions, you have advantages in others, you know, kind of things like that. So, it seems like it'd be very interesting system to try out. So, Carthage, it's available now. I don't think I have much else to talk about it with. I guess we can hit up Fungeon Party before we end.
It's time to have some Fungeon in the dungeon.
Just because we can finish it out. We'll skip Kickstarter Corner this week, and we'll just move on to our weekend gaming after this, and then finish up with Ask the Table. Consult the table.
Okay, wait.
Uh-huh.
I'm reading the first sentence here. This seems ridiculous. Stack dice on your forehead. Bounce them into the box. Knock down a meeple surrounded by dice. Balance a meeple on a stick. These and many more wacky quests await a traditional dungeon party in the non-traditional dungeon crawler Fungeon Party.
So it's apparently got over 60 wacky quests available for Brave Adventurers in the Fungeon. Yeah, 2 to 5 players.
This definitely isn't what I thought of.
Oh God, first. No. It's like activity based to a degree.
Yeah, it's a stunt party game.
Yeah, which is not a problem because it's like it's got an interesting theme for a stunt party game, which is I think that's one of those things that just draws out different stunt party themes and doesn't have them get a little boring.
Yeah.
So, like the idea of a dungeon adventuring party, and $30 is not really terrible either.
No, it's just for like us. When would we actually play it?
God, you are correct.
Since we aren't normally at someone's house, and you don't want to be bouncing dice off your forehead.
Well, I mean, that's, I think, one of the drawbacks of a lot of board games like this and others, is that you can't always set it up everywhere. Like, for those people that play it out, like, at you do stuff at local game stores, maybe you could do it there, but you don't always have the same amount of room. Definitely things like diners or, like, sometimes bookstores have gaming areas or stuff like that. The rare bookstore.
Yeah.
Legend tells of them, but I guess Barnes and Noble, yeah.
Yes, that still exists.
Yes.
Borders does not.
Yep, Borders does not. Poor Borders. I liked you better. But anyway,
Wizard. Anytime you are required to roll or use a specific number in a quest, you can change a die to any face.
So I guess each character has interesting powers, at least. That helps you.
The artwork's cool too.
Oh yeah, the artwork's great. That's the thing is.
I like the dwarf with dice in his beard.
Yeah. You want an epic dice beard too?
The elf seems very concerned about balancing dice on her forehead.
Very concerned.
Why?
Why is a question we shall ask and never get an answer for games like this. Anyway, I mean, the art looks really cool, really interesting. It's got a kind of a little bit of a cartoony feel to it, which is fine and actually kind of acceptable for a game like this. It's not supposed to take long. They actually claim it could take 3 minutes at minimum.
So the setup may be longer than the game.
Yeah, because again, I think it's just supposed to be like you could just have it that you quickly want to try out one of the quests. You know, and then you could do a lot of the quests because again, there's
I guess like ones like you could also just choose like, okay, we're gonna play a game and we're gonna take out this kind of quest completely.
Yeah. I mean, there is over 60 quests, so I mean that's a lot of different things you could do, and maybe like having certain combinations of them will add to interesting hilarity and fun. So, I think Fungeon Party is a really cool one. It's very interesting. It's a different game, which is one of those important things. You know, they find an interesting niche Niche. Niche? Niche.
Niche.
Whatever.
Niche.
Whatever.
He says what he wants.
I was going to, but, I mean, now you interrupted me.
Ha!
Anyway. Alright, though, let's move on to our final segments, our regular segments that we have. As we said, we're going to be skipping Kickstarter Corner this week, but if you are always looking to see what we support local Kickstarters, there's always a lot of cool items that are available for Kickstarters. So just check out some of them. A lot of cool RPG ideas are always being kicked around. Alright. Our week in tabletop. What do you want to talk about?
Well, obviously we had our first RPG session in a very long time.
Yes, Madness of the Land, which ended up really fun. Really fun. Most of the characters are accepting of what has happened very well. I think there's a little bit of tension in a couple of them that they're hoping that they'll work out. But as I've said to people, if I didn't think it would work with the craziness that happened in that session, I would have said something to you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And totally, Mantis Riders are going to be awesome.
I didn't even think about Mantis Riders in the past. It'll probably be something that'll be not the first adventure, I'm going to say.
Oh, no, but I think that it's just like, hey, my guy totally is a nature guy, and that could be something possible.
It's not impossible to tame them. Very difficult, but not impossible.
Hey, they could be very useful.
As the guy you talk to, it's like, he doesn't have anyone in town that's worked with vermin before, so...
Well, how often are you trying to trade vermin?
Not very, unless you're like Drow, who are very good at it.
Yes, but I'm saying in general.
Yeah, because Drow have billions of pet spiders.
Yes.
So, I mean...
But they also live in the Underdark. So how many people who don't live in the Underdark are trying to ride vermin?
Exactly. A couple others, but not many. Let's see, what else did we do this week? I had Bastion Frontier, so I D&D on Wednesday, in which we finished up the Intelligence Tower, which it was interesting, but it was also like, it was basically lots of low CR creatures kept spawning, and we had to survive for a certain number of rounds with the challenge, and there was a lot of like tactical things happening that we could affect the board, and we ended up, because we figured out where they were spawning from, and we ended up using these, like, items that kept appearing. There was these, like, force wall items to block them in. So it was really great, because we managed to trap a bunch of them, and it was like, well, now we don't have to worry about spawns. Because intelligence. Because strategy. No, it was great. It was great. It ended up pretty well. And no one died. What else did we do?
Sunday, we did the
Castle Ravenloft.
Castle Ravenloft, which we lost the first one in, what, like 3 tile placements?
My God, it was record. It was like record time.
Yeah.
The combination of things was like instant death upon us.
Hey, look, a trap that does 3 damage to everyone.
God, in the same tile, and we were still in the same tile. And then 3 seconds later, while we were still in the same tile, another explosion for like 3 damage. It's like, God, awful.
Yeah. The second one we did a lot better.
God, we
won.
We did so much better the second one because we when we ran into stuff like that, we were well spread apart.
Although I felt bad for Blaze at the end, who got teleported to the other side of the board.
It's like, hey guys, what's going on? I finally caught up.
We won. Oh.
Yeah.
Yay!
But I'm glad I saved my dailies, because I think all of us saving up our dailies until like the final tile was like a good move, because then we're just like, nuke it. Just nuke it.
Well, for the one we did, that really worked, because, hey, a bunch of monsters spawn here.
Yep.
And once they're defeated, you win. Oh. Blow up that room.
Yeah. It was great.
What did we do Saturday?
Oh my God, we did, So was it unfair?
No, it's not unfair.
What was it?
Sweetie, do you remember what we played last Saturday?
Can't remember. We're bad.
Oh, she's not back there. Hoover to Herb.
God, our memories.
It was
terrible.
a somewhat shortish game because I was trying to convince people to play something afterwards.
Yes.
It was not Hobbit, which you had brought.
No. Because no one ever wants to play that, even though it's not a terrible game.
Oh, it's not a terrible game. It's just... I don't think it's actually my girlfriend's, Allie.
Yeah.
Oh, but I do have a new game for this weekend.
Ah.
I have Star Trek Missions.
Ooh, sounds spiffy.
It's a card game.
Ooh.
And you can play characters from either original or next gen, or a mixture of.
Ooh, time travel. Up yours, continuity.
Well, on the front of the box, it shows like the original bridge and all the characters looking at the main screen with of the Enterprise D and all their characters standing there.
Up yours, time continuity.
Oh, like there's never been time travel in Star Trek.
Again, up yours, time travel. Yep.
I saw that on Will Wheaton's tabletop, and I'm like, I want it.
Let's see here. Was there anything else that we did because we kind of have 2 weeks here. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember much.
What did we do the Sunday before?
Was that Time Stories or was that something else?
I think it was Time Stories. I did a game of Stone Age with a friend online.
Cool, excellent.
Which I felt bad. It was the first time both of us played, and I beat him by over 100 points.
Yeah.
He's like, did you just lap me on the point tracker? I'm like, yeah.
The answer is yes. Yes, you did.
I'm like, sorry. Yeah, he had 100 and something, and I had 200 and something.
Whew. Let's see here. What else is there? How about... I think that's it, though. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So let's move on to Consult the Table. If you have any kind of questions for us ever, you can say it here. Say it now. We'll be listening. You can also contact us on any of our Twitters, including mine, Joe's, and Worms. You can, of course, reach us on my Discord, or, well, Worms' Discord. You can...
tweet us.
Yeah, tweet us. I have that when the VOD
I have
of this
it as well.
When the VOD of this goes up online, you can check us out and reach us there. There's a lot of ways, or email us at discussingtabletop@yahoo.com. So if you have any kind of question, nerdy related, tabletop related, anything, just consult us. We're here to help. I think that's it, though. I think that's it.
I believe so.
I did want to end a little early today, just because we have a busy afternoon. So,
we're going to go see Deadpool 2.
We are, and I've got a bunch of things to get done before that. So, all right. Thank you, everyone who joined us today. We'll be back next week with hopefully Jordan will be able to rejoin us. It's been a few weeks that he's been unable to pop in. So we can get back into the swing of things.
And it's been like over a month since we've both been on the same...
Yes.
Stream.
Every time, it seems like go back and forth between the two of you. It's crazy.
Yes.
But yeah, hopefully we'll be all here next week. You can join me tomorrow evening. Should be Sundays at the tabletop. I don't sure the exact details about what's going on, but I'll keep everybody informed about it.
It'll be something fun.
It'll be something fun. I will not be back tomorrow morning, as I did mention on my morning stream this morning. If you were there for it, I will not be back tomorrow morning. I've got something in the early morning, afternoon kind of thing, so I'll be busy, unfortunately, and if I get back early enough, I will have a bonus stream.
And I'm not sure if I'll be joining for Tabletop tomorrow night, because it being Father's Day. I'll let you know.
What I am doing will involve my father, and therefore will count as part of my Father's Day celebration, so I'll be doing it morning to into mid-afternoon. So that will be my timing with it. Anyway, All right, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hopefully, you can check out some of these great things that we talked about. And if you ever do check out some of these things, let us know in like the YouTube comments or something, or tweet us, Discord us. So cool. Thanks for joining. Hope you had an enjoyable time, and we'll see you all here next week. So Same time, same channel, and until then, goodbye, everyone.
Bye.